Hi, I'm Vector's EVP of Brand and Communications, Vicky Zambito, and I'm here today with our new Chief Human Resources Officer, Jackie Wolf. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you? Good to see everyone.
Good. So let's get right into the meat of the interview. So before you came to Vector, you had your own consulting firm,
Mhm.
but something about Vector must have lured you here to Vector. So can you say, what attracted you to our company and what are you most excited about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I've been fortunate, even before my consulting company, to work for a lot of really great companies and organizations. I've over, I guess I could say, 3 decades worth of experience in the human resources field. And when I tried the retirement thing, and it just didn't last long, so that's why I started my own consulting company. So for over 3.5 years, I did a lot of consulting work for private companies and founder companies, and just really found this sweet spot that I really loved these organizations. And I always said, if I find an organization that I feel fits well with my own value system and in a mission and I believe in, I'm going to say, I don't need to consult anymore. I want to join the company. And that happened with Vector Solutions. So when I came in November, one of the things that impressed me the most was the mission, what we do everything every single day to make people's lives safer and smarter and everything on our mission. But more importantly, there was a piece that I felt like I belonged. And I think that's so important when we think about diversity and belonging in an organization. It's how a person really feels inside their heart. Do they really feel like they're part of that community of the employment base? And everyone really opened their arms up to me and welcomed me, even as I was, this consultant coming in. But I really felt positive about it and I felt like I fit. And so when this opportunity became available, it was that sweet spot and moment where I said, after 3.5 years of consulting, that yes, this is the spot and where I want to be. So here I
Well, I would say like senses like, right? Like
am. Yeah.
we saw in you the same thing. I know
Oh,
we
thank
all
you.
instantly kind of, bonded because it's
Yeah.
just this passion for our mission and
Yeah.
just doing good work with a great team every
Yeah.
day and
Yeah.
enjoying your Mondays, right? Well,
Yep.
what's the question? What
Hmm.
makes you come to work on a Monday?
Yeah.
What's the most unique company then that you've worked in a lot of companies? Which one would you say is the most unique?
Unique is an interesting word, but what I would say one that was very interesting, and that was when I worked in the petrochemical world, because I had an opportunity. I worked in the automotives and I worked at the General Electrics, these big industrial companies. But when I switched into the chemical space and the petrochemical world, it was, yeah, a very different environment, and it was a very global company. So it was Netherlands based, so it was headquartered technically in the Netherlands, even though we had a big US footprint. So I was the CHRO for them. But what made it so creative and unique and interesting was the global aspect of the world and the job. We had an opportunity to set up locations, like I said, all around the European countries, all over China, Asia, Australia. So it was really exciting to be able to get a great appreciation of the workforce and what makes each and every one of us different, but yet what makes each and every one of us somewhat alike. And so that's what I loved about that particular job. I'll just give one. I'm a storyteller at times, so I'll give one example that just resonated with me of where even we're in the world that we're more alike. You know how sometimes you go in an elevator, you don't make eye contact with people. You kind of move into your little spot. You look at the wall. You look at the button and when it's going to come out. That is universal everywhere in the world I've been. So that's where I say, as a human race, where there's a lot of commonalities, but at the same time, there's a lot of differences that make up our uniqueness of who we are. So yeah, so I'd say that job was it was just different and fun.
So it sounds like you've traveled a lot for work. I know for a fact you've also traveled a lot for your personal. I don't know if hobby is the right word, but
Passion.
yeah, your passion. Yes, passion's probably the
Yeah.
right word. Why don't you talk a little bit more about your ultra running?
Oh yeah, that's what. there's the things where I always tell myself, if I had to do it all over again, what would I do and what would I be? I would probably really push myself to be an elite runner, and in the ultra space, because I am extremely passionate about my ultra running. I do 50K, 50 miles. I've tried for the 100K and I made it 54 plus miles. So it was a timed race, so I didn't get it done in the 12 hours. But it's just a big passion of mine. I've always loved the running component, both from a mental perspective, because it does help me regroup and process and figure things out when I'm running. I don't listen to music. I just let it soak in my head, things that I'm working on. But it also, what I love about running is because I had the opportunity to travel all around the world, you can pack a pair of tennis shoes and you can run anywhere. And that's what I loved about it. So I've had the opportunity to run on the Great Wall of China for a 5K. I've had the opportunity to run in Tiananmen Square, in the forests in Germany, obviously in London. I mean, so that's what I like about that sport is all it takes is a pair of tennis shoes and you can get out there.
So
So
I
it
know
is a big passion.
you've
Mhm.
also done a lot of the major marathons,
Yeah.
or almost all of them? Or
Not yet. I have Tokyo and Berlin left to do. So, because I count today this year, because I'm doing Chicago and New York this year, and so I just have Tokyo and Berlin left. But it's really, Boston. I've done Boston 3 times. I've done London, and now this year Chicago and New York. They're back to back, by the way. And then next year will be Berlin, and the following year will be Tokyo. Then I'll have all the big majors done, which is exciting.
okay. Well, if
Yeah,
those
definitely a passion.
I know. Yeah. If those weren't on your plans, that's obviously travel ahead of you, and you had to go back to one of these great places you've been, what's the number one place you would go back to?
Oh, that's easy for me. It's Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii many times. It's my favorite place in the world of all the places I've been. I just love that, the vibe, the people. But I've done, 3 or 4 marathons there. And the ones that I did, they no longer do them, but I did what they call the warrior challenges. So you do a 1 mile in the morning on the Saturday, you do a 10K in the afternoon on the Saturday, then the full marathon on the Sunday. So they call it warrior challenges. And it's so much fun. It's in Maui. And I've done that race twice, and now they no longer do the warrior challenge, they just do the marathon. But it's my favorite place to run because it's just such a beautiful, beautiful area. And living in Texas, you're ready for the climate when you go down there, so you have the heat and the humidity and you're trained for it, so so you're good.
All right, well, let's now move on to our lightning round. And you know the drill because you've watched some of these in the
Yeah.
past. So I'm going to give you 2 choices, and I just need your instant reaction to
Okay.
what your preferences are, or what you like the most. So if
Okay,
you're ready,
I'm ready.
Kindle or Netflix,
Oh, Netflix.
football or baseball,
Football, hands down.
beach or mountains.
Oh, beach.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like the Hawaii
Beach.
comment.
Yeah,
Although
beach.
Hawaii has mountains as well. So,
Yep, yep.
um, wine or whiskey,
Oh, wine. But it has to be white wine. I can't drink red wine, but white wine.
okay. Marvel or DC,
Ooh, Marvel.
Vans or Nikes.
Nikes.
Since you're a runner, I maybe
Yeah.
should have asked Brooks or Asics, or
Asics. Oh, hands down Asics. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
chocolate or vanilla,
Oh, chocolate. Easy.
Beatles or Beyonce,
Ooh, Beatles.
iOS or Android.
iOS. Yep.
And the last one is the one I have to ask because everyone needs to know: cats or dogs.
Dogs. I'm a dog person. Yeah.
Dogs tends to win out, but I'm sure we have a lot of friends of the felines out there as
Yes,
well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Jackie, thank you for your time today. And maybe what I should say is aloha, Jackie.
Yes. Aloha. Thank you so much.